Good morning, students. So this is Mukesh Chauhan once again going to present my video for the students of class 9th from the book Moments, chapter number 5. The title of the story is The Happy Prince. This whole story is based upon the life of the great sage Gautam Buddha. Students, before discussing the story, I would like to throw some light on the life of the great sage Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha was born in a royal family. His father was King Suddhodhan, the king of Kapilvastu. When he was born, there were teeth in his mouth. Students, this is an unusual event that a child is born with teeth in its mouth. And that too years before, when the world was so much superstitious. When the king came to know that the child is born with teeth in its mouth, he worried about it. Therefore, he called the astrologers of his state. The chief astrologer also came there. They discussed over the issue. They had deliberation over it. And after the great discussion, the astrologer told the king that the child would become a sage. He will spread light. He will spread wisdom into the world. He will become the source of inspiration for the human life. The king listened all these things silently, sincerely, and thought for a moment. Since he was the only son of the royal family, he thought of his kingdom, he thought of his wealthy possessions, which were supposed to be taken care by his son. And the astrologer has already told that he would become a great sage. So it was the matter of great worries for the king. Now he started thinking what to do so that the child must take interest in royal acts or the task of the kingdom or ruling system. King thought that he would not let him go out of the royal palace. Possibly he would be able to keep him in his control. Therefore, the king decided to keep the child into the royal palace. He provided all the facilities, all the needs were supplied, they were fulfilled. And we know at the age, the needs are already limited. A child needs merely few friends to play, food to eat, father and mother. Similarly, Gautam Buddha was also given the same thing. His father was there, his mother was there in the royal palace, friends were provided to him to play, all the facilities were there, but he was not allowed to come out of the palace. Living there, he grew up. When he grew up, it was natural. The ideas would come into the mind. The same ideas came into his mind and started thinking about the outside world. He used to listen people talking about the affairs of the kingdom, the people outside, and it was his inward wisdom, inward light, the knowledge of his spirit which was giving him this kind of feelings that he started remaining silent. He started talking less. When the king observed it, he became sad. Since he was the only son of his father, and that too born in a royal family, therefore it was a great concern for the king that the prince should be provided with all the facilities. So when he grew up, he thought that possibly he should be given a companion, a fellow who could take care of him, who could share his feelings. Therefore, the king decided to marry him. So the prince was married to a beautiful princess, Yasodhara. But even sometimes when he was playing music in his garden, sitting into the garden, and he becomes serious. This became the great concern for Yasodhara also, since he was trying her best to keep the prince happy, but still it was happening. Therefore, it was the great concern for her. She used to ask her husband what is the cause of his worries, what he thinks about, which makes him so sad, which makes him so sincere, serious. He used to say that he wanted to be this man of the God. He wanted to serve the humankind, or the mankind. Yasodhara tried her best to offer him company, to offer all the things which she could. But the condition was as it is. Prince was provided with a charioteer, the one who takes care of him, one who provides company. His name was Channa. One day, the prince asked Channa to go outside the palace. He said that he wanted to see the outside world. What is outside the royal palace? At this, the charioteer became very surprised. He said, "How can I take you outside the palace? Because it is not the order of the king. Because the king has told to keep you inside the palace. If you want to go outside the palace, first of all, the permission is to be taken from the king." One day, while sitting with his father, Prince Siddhartha shared his worries, shared his desire to his father. He said, "I want to see the outside world outside the royal palace." When the king heard about this, he thought for a moment and assured him that he would be allowed to see the outside world. But before giving permission, he told his ministers, he ordered his ministers that the whole city of Kapilvastu should be decorated. Walls should be colored, streets should be neat and clean. And he also ordered that not a single mishappening should take place in the path of the king. Where the prince was passing, he told not a single poor man, not a single sad one, any such kind of event should not take place. So before his visit, The whole Kapilvastu was decorated just like a bride. Houses were painted, their walls were painted with saffron color, trees were decorated, and on the day when the happy prince was sitting into the chariot led by Channa, women's, men, children, both were standing on both the sides of the road. They were throwing flowers to welcome him. Since they were watching their prince very first time, so close, so openly, therefore they were quite happy. Not a single sad scene was there. Everyone was happy. After visiting the whole kingdom, Channa returned back to the palace. The prince came to the palace. He could not find anything wrong with the human life. Still, there was something which was causing him trouble. He could not understand. Everything was happy, but still he was not getting mental peace. Therefore, he again shared his feelings, his worries to his charioteer. He said, "This time I would like to go alone. Father should not come to know about his visit." He said, "This time I want to visit the town unnoted." At this, Channa became surprised and he said that he may lose his job. If the king comes to know about this episode, definitely he will throw him out of the palace. But even then, the prince enforced him, persuaded him. He told that the prince himself would be a merchant and his charioteer Channa would be his accountant. They both disguised in the form of a charioteer, in the form of a merchant and his accountant. They both went into the city of Kapilvastu to visit it. While the prince was going ahead, he found a lady who was sitting by the roadside and she was mourning. Sad sound was coming out from her mouth. When the prince saw it, when he heard this wailing, he approached the old lady and tried to hold the lady in his lap. While he was doing it, Channa was observing everything. He asked the prince not to touch the lady. At this, prince asked, he said, "Why should I not touch? What has happened to this lady? Why she is crying? Why she is wailing?" Channa told that she was suffering from a severe disease. He told that she was the patient of leprosy. At this, prince asked, "What is this leprosy? What is the consequence? What will happen to her?" Channa told that she is meeting her end. This is incurable disease which cannot be cured, and finally she will die. After hearing these words, he asked Channa, "Can this happen to me?" Channa told that yes, it can happen to anyone. Now the prince became very sad and moved from there. While he was passing from there, in the way he saw 4 men carrying a dead body. At this, he asked, "What is this?" Channa told him that the man is dead and these people are carrying him for his burial. He said, "What is This death, Channa told that the death is the ultimate end of life and it comes to everyone. Whosoever is born on this earth will meet its end. The prince said, "Shall I be also?" Channa said, "Yes, whosoever is born on this earth will die one day." Then why they are carrying the man on this stretcher? Channa told that they are carrying him to the burial place where they will burn him. They will burn into fire. And this prince said, "Shall I be also treated the same way?" Channa told, "Yes, whosoever is born will die, and whosoever will die will be burned into the fire." At this, the prince became very much sad and dejected, touched. He thought, what should be done to cure human life? What should be done to free the human from this cycle of death and birth? He returned back. He returned back into the royal palace and remained silent. He stopped talking to anyone. He did not talk even his wife. At this, Yasodhara became very sad and started thinking about her husband. She tried her best to make him happy but failed. Sometimes Prince used to share his worries to his wife. He used to say, "I want to do something for humankind. I want to do something for the welfare of mankind. I want to make man free from worries, free from ailments, free from this cycle of life." Since these spiritual things were beyond the understanding of Yasodhara, listening this kind of things from her husband's mouth, she used to become worried. She used to become terrified. But she was unable to do anything. Although she was trying her best to make her husband happy, but nothing happened. And the day came when Prince Siddhartha decided to leave the palace. And one night, without informing his wife, he went to her and inwardly he said that he was leaving from there. And without letting his wife know, he left the royal palace in the night. Going out of the royal palace, he moved on foot. You see how difficult life he passed. It is said, if we want to get something, definitely we have to pay first. So to get enlightenment, to get knowledge, Prince Siddhartha also paid. He paid his luxuries, he paid his luxurious life of royal palace and walked on foot, keep on moving, till he reached the place which is known today by the name of Bodh Gaya in Bihar. It is in Bihar, Bodh Gaya, where there is, even today there is a banyan tree. It is said Gautam Buddha prayed God sitting under this tree. Therefore, it is even today is called Bodhi tree. Even today, Hindu people go there to get salvation. It is believed that when someone's father is dead, his bones are taken there and some kind of rituals are performed there for the moksha of the spirit of the departed one. It is very spiritual, intellectual place, visited frequently by Hindu people. He went in search of light, enlightenment, knowledge. He sat under that banyan tree and prayed God. He prayed there many years. It is said that he prayed there for 1200 years. And one day he got enlightenment, wisdom. From that day, that tree is known as the Bodhi tree. And getting enlightenment, he worked for humankind as it was his desire. He worked for mankind and he gave preachings to the humans. His preachings are still, even today, they are followed, they are read by his followers. Not only by his followers, even we also, whether we are follower or not follower, we also study, we also know about him and like his teachings, like his preach, which he used to deliver in the group of people. So the present story, the Happy Prince, is taken from the same story. It is said that after his demise, he became immortal. His soul remained in this world to see the miseries, to help the people of the world, to help the needy ones. So the present story is a part of that story. So now let us come to the story, which I am going to discuss line by line. High above the city, on the tall column, stood the statue of Happy Prince. This is the same Happy Prince which I have told you, means the Gautam Buddha. Outside the city, in somewhere, there was a statue of Happy Prince which was standing over a high, a tall tower, column. He was gilded all over with thin leaves of fine gold. The statue of Happy Prince was covered with fine gold, the leaves of gold. And for eyes he had two bright sapphires. In the statue, in place of two eyes, there were two shiny sapphires. Sapphire is a kind of stone which is quite shiny and precious also. And a large red ruby glowed on his sword hilt. Hilt means the handle. And in his sword handle there was a ruby, a red colored precious stone which was shining in the handle of the sword. One night there flew over the city a little swallow. His friends had gone away to Egypt 6 weeks before. As this statue was standing outside the city on a tall column, one day a swallow was flying over this statue. It was going to Egypt, as all fellow have gone to Egypt week before. He remained there, therefore he was also in a hurry to go to Egypt. So while flying, since it became night, all day long he flew, and night time he arrived at the city. Where shall I put up? He said. While flying, the swallow was thinking, since the whole day he flew there because of flying throughout the day, he was tired and it got dark, so he was thinking there he must stop somewhere else to take rest. He was thinking to himself, where should he stop? He was asking like this. He cried. When his sight fell upon the statue of the Happy Prince, the swallow became happy and he cried in joy. It's a fine position with plenty of fresh air, so he alighted just between the feet of the happy prince. He thought that this could be a better place because the statue was standing on a tall column outside the city, therefore there were no chances of any kind of disturbance and it was safe place. So the swallow came down and sat between the feet of the statue. I have a golden bed. While he was sitting there, he saw upward. He noticed that the statue was made of pure gold, since it was covered with fine gold leaves. So the swallow said that he was going to get a golden bed. He will pass his night into a golden bed. He said softly to himself as he looked round, and he prepared to go to sleep. After observing the environment, the atmosphere there, that there was no risk, everything was safe, the swallow decided to take rest there, to pass his night there. Mentally he was happy, thinking that he was going to sleep on the golden bed. But just as he was putting his head under his wings, a last drop of water fell on him. It is the habit of birds that whenever they sleep, they put their hand under the wing of one side, either on the left side wing or on the right side wing. Similarly, when the swallow was going to take rest, he was going to put his head under the wing. Just then a big drop of water fell on his head. What a curious thing, he cried. When the drop of water fell on his head, he cried in surprise, "Oh, I was thinking that I am going to sleep under the golden bed and the raindrops are coming. There is not a single cloud in the sky. The stars are quite clear and bright, and yet it is raining." He became surprised that there was not a single patch of cloud into the sky. The sky was quite clear. Stars were shining. He said, "Even it is raining, so it is very strange." While he was thinking it, just the another drop fell on his head. "What is the use of a statue if it cannot keep the rain off?" he said. When another drop fell over his head, he thought to himself, and he said, "What is the use of this statue, so big, erect, and yet it cannot keep the raindrops away? It cannot save him from the rain. Then what is the use of this statue? Means it is useless for him. I must look for a good chimney pot," and he determined to fly away. He was thinking to go at some safer place because he thought that the statue is not capable of keeping the rain away from him. Without clouds, the drops of water are falling over his head. What will happen if it starts raining? So he thought of going from there. Mentally he was thinking to go and sit on the chimney pot. But as soon as he thought to go there, as he made up his mind to go from there, before he had opened his wings to fly, a third drop fell, and he looked up and saw. As he made up his mind to go from there and he was about to fly over, as he opened his wings to fly, the third drop fell over his head. Then, in surprise, he looked upward, and what he noticed? Oh, what did he see? Means he saw something strange. The eyes of the happy prince were filled with tears, and the tears were running down his golden cheeks. His face was so beautiful in the moonlight that the little swallow was filled with pity. When he noticed that the cheeks of the statue were wet with tears, tears were coming down, they were rolling down from the eyes, and since it was moonlight, the sky was quite clear, so it was shining. When he noticed that the tears were coming out of the eyes, the swallow became surprised and he felt pity over the statue. Thank you very much. We will discuss rest of the story into the next video.